Hail and well met, adventurers. I'm your host, the Dungeon Master, and the time has finally come for me to talk about the long-awaited Final Fantasy VII Remake. Final Fantasy VII was released in the year of 1997 to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Squaresoft's flagship RPG series, Final Fantasy. And though it is the 7th installment in that long-running franchise, Final Fantasy VII managed to reach out not only to fans of Final Fantasy and video games in general, but also to a much wider audience with the rise of the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, a collection of sequels, midquels, and prequels that fleshed out the already vast lore of Final Fantasy VII. And now, to see the world of Final Fantasy VII reimagined to this level of degree and detail is just truly awe-inspiring. I remember how I used to be mesmerized by the city of Midgar when I first played Final Fantasy VII back in 97-98, and remember just how amazing it was, and now seeing it like this just defies my childhood. It makes me want to delve into the world of Final Fantasy VII once again, to explore the planet known as Gaia, to explore the heights and depths of the city of Midgar, to explore and go on the journey once again, 20 odd years later, and I'm looking forward to it. I know for a fact that a lot of people are fairly wary of Square's episodic structure, and to be fair, I kind of felt the telltale vibes myself when I first read that it was going to be episodic in nature. But given what we've seen thus far, I'm actually confident that the team developing the Final Fantasy VII Remake truly want it to be the best adventure they can possibly make it. After all, we have Yoshinori Kitase, the original director, now the producer, and Tetsuya Nomura, who got his big break with Final Fantasy VII, is now at the helm as the director. And there's just so much more, and we've barely even scratched the surface. We've barely even covered This is just the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. This is only a taste, a sliver of what is ultimately in store for us. And I, for one, am ecstatic with anticipation over the further announcements that Square will make regarding the Final Fantasy VII Remake, because it is a story that has been with me for these last 20 years and beyond. I played Final Fantasy VII, I've seen Advent Children, I played Dirge of Cerberus and Crisis Core. Was never able to play before Crisis, since such a Japanese mobile game, which is only available in Japan, and they never quite got around to remaking that, which I definitely hope they do. And of course, well, there are some other things, other thoughts that I have. One thing in particular, of course, I should mention this now, is the fact that even though the main character, Cloud Strife, is a member of former member of Soldier, thank you very much, you never actually... There are only certain instances in which you actually fight enemy members of Soldier, because after all, originally, due to time constraints, they were sort of relegated to the back burner and thus became sort of regular enemies, as opposed to, you know, your party members recognizing them as members of Soldier and thus a genuine threat. And that's my one expectation, is that the various members of Soldier, the third class, second class, first class soldiers in the employ of the Shinra Electric Power Company actually do have a greater role in the Final Fantasy VII Remake that they did not get in the classic version. But that's just my 2 cents on that. And really there really is absolutely nothing more to say on the matter. I mean, we have another press conference soon to be that will give us quite a few more details regarding the development of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and hopefully preparing ourselves for the eventual journey that awaits in March of 2020. And, well, that's really all I have to say for the time being. I hope you, well, I thank you for taking the time to listen to me ramble about my past experience with Final Fantasy VII. And I've definitely been looking forward to this for quite some time. And for those of you who've been following me on YouTube, you may remember that once upon a time I did a series called The Road to 7, a Let's Play series of the original Final Fantasy games before 7. I was going to do the advanced versions, but for various reasons I was unable to complete that particular series. But now with Final Fantasy VII Remake looming ahead just beyond the horizon, it's definitely a possibility. I am thinking about going back and walking the roads to 7 one more time, going through the first 6 Final Fantasy games, before finally reaching Final Fantasy VII. It's a very tall task, and Final Fantasy as a series has been Let's Played on YouTube multiple times, but I'm willing to take up the challenge. And well, I suppose this is it. I suppose I should really end the video here, because there is really nothing more I have to say for the moment regarding the Final Fantasy VII Remake. As always, I am your host, the Dungeon Master, and as ever, dear adventurers, until next we meet.